The Lakers and Nuggets are back in the Western Conference Finals. Bubble 2.0. Here we go with the Heat and Celtics as well. The Lakers punched their ticket to the third round by taking down the defending champion Warriors in 6 games. The Nuggets advanced in pretty dominant fashion, blowing out the Suns on their home court in Game 6, so much so that they had to fire their head coach. All 4 regular season matchups between the Lakers and Nuggets, they occurred before the NBA trade deadline. Before the Lakers revamped like half their roster. Those games are useless. Throw them out. But everybody very excited for this. We got the schedule here. It gets underway on Tuesday night in Denver. They haven't lost at home in the playoffs. The Lakers haven't lost at home in the playoffs. So here we go. Wow. The 1-7 matchup. Let's break it down. Tass, what's one thing you're watching here for the Nuggets-Lakers?
Well, let's start with the biggest matchup. Nikola Jokic versus Anthony Davis. That's pretty freaking exciting. Jokic going up against AD, who has been a beast defensively throughout the postseason. I think in part he's been a beast because he hasn't had a guy to guard all series long. It's just been a little bit light with Draymond Green, Kevon Looney, and then the bigs of the Grizzlies a little bit different where Bron could help out. This time he's got to guard Nikola Jokic all day, all night. That's going to be tough. Let's see if he can slow him down a little bit. Jokic has been phenomenal. He's gotten better since the regular season. He is. I couldn't believe how much more he's shooting than the regular season. 21 shots per game when he was doing like 14 in the regular season. So Anthony Davis can't go out and roam. Bron's gonna have his hands full. I guess the best thing to do for Jokic is to try and make him work on the defensive end if AD can be a beast on the offensive end. But the fact is, the cutters are going to be flying around for Jokic. They've had the best offense this postseason, and AD has led the best defense. But I don't know if that can keep up against this Nuggets team that is absolutely just rolling right now. So let's just start there. I just can't wait to watch that matchup to see what AD can do to slow the best player in this postseason. 30.7 points, 12.8 rebounds, and 9.7 assists. Those are special numbers right there.
Yeah, and you're right about AD, who's been incredible around the rim, deterring shots and blocking shots and stuff like that. He is not going to be able to do any sort of drop back deep coverage versus Jokic, because Jokic will fire away from 3. Shooting the ball pretty damn well here in the postseason. He's had games in that last series, 2 for 4, 2 for 3 in games 4 and 5, and back in the first round, he had a 5 for 8 game. He'll let it fly. Jokic will shoot 7 to 10 threes if you leave him wide open. He's got the funny release, but he can bang them home. So that's just going to be a different matchup there for AD, where you're not going to really be able to just straight up leave him. So that's definitely something to watch. And yeah, people are salivating at this matchup between Jokic and this guy. I can't wait for this one, see the chess match here.
Yeah, the best player on both teams isn't always at the same position, so It's pretty cool that they're actually going to be going head-to-head in this one, especially when you consider Jokic easily the best offensive player at his position, and Davis has been the best defensive player at his position. Back in 2020 in the Western Conference Finals, Anthony Davis went for 31, 6, and 2.5 assists, so not a lot of rebounds. He also only had 3 blocks in those 5 games, which tells you that he's away from the rim. That would be what the Nuggets are definitely going to try and do with that pick and roll with Murray and Jokic, force AD away from the hoop, force LA into rotations, make LeBron have to be a rim protector. He was really good defending the rim against the Warriors, but it's going to be awesome to see the speed of Davis versus kind of the power and brute force of Jokic against each other. And that really feeds into the whole math question of things, because the Nuggets are a great three-point team. The Lakers are a great free throw team. We'll see how that actually plays out. But for me, one thing to watch in this series, sounds stupid, Game 1, but this is a huge Game 1. The Lakers have won both Game 1 so far, which has let them play from ahead in the series the entire time, despite coming out of the play-in as a 7 seed. You mentioned both teams haven't lost on their home court. Denver has an incredible home court advantage. But this is a big level up in competition for both sides. The Nuggets haven't seen anybody like Anthony Davis yet, where the Lakers haven't seen anybody like Jokic yet. So I think Game 1 is going to tell us a whole bunch. And if LA is able to steal another one, that puts them in a great position to pull the upset in this series.
Yeah, they don't have the rest advantage like they did last round against the Golden State Warriors. The Nuggets have the rest advantage in this one. I do think LeBron's going to he's going to be able to roam a little bit off Aaron Gordon, but that could hurt him because Aaron Gordon is going to be flying around. I don't think he can really help on Jokic, but I wonder if Jared Vanderbilt plays a big part in this series because he's that guy who's chasing around Steph, but he can bang and he can get after Jokic. So I think they may even take turns a little bit just to get AD off of Jokic. I mean, a few years ago it was a totally different series where Jokic was going up against JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard. Those guys were starting, and AD was playing the 4. I think Vanderbilt's just got to come help. I mean, I said it stupidly. I wondered if Looney was going to be able to wear Anthony Davis down last series. Davis held up, and I think to hold up against Jokic, he's going to need some help. So Vanderbilt's going to be big. I wonder if they go back to starting him because he was off the floor for Schroeder when they went small. But this is great because it's just big versus big. This is strength versus strength, as opposed to the Warriors, which was bigs versus small.
The other thing to watch for me is which team can do the better job of like stopping guard penetration, because we could be in store here for a huge Jamal Murray series. Maybe there's some Vanderbilt on him. Schroeder's done a pretty good job, or did in the last series versus Curry. But like getting in there, especially if you think AD is removed a little bit because of how they operate through Jokic up top and the dribble handoffs and all that. I think Murray can live in the paint here. I think he can get in there. Can he finish? And then if he can't, can he kick out to these shooters? And you said the three-point shooting, look, the Warriors, obviously, we've always considered an elite three-point shooting team. They went ice cold, their 2 Splash Brothers, over the last couple of games. But KCP's been shooting it well. Bruce Brown, Michael Porter Jr., 40% still three-point shooting. Aaron Gordon sort of has his moments. He's sort of Wiggins-like to me, where it's like, oh, suddenly he can bang in 3, 4, 5. Sometimes he goes cold, but there's that. And on the flip side, the Lakers have a bunch of guys that can get in there. They can create. I mean, you of course start with LeBron James, but Austin Reeves attacks. Russell can do that. Schroeder can do that. So who can do the best job at least trying to stay in front of these great perimeter players and keep them out of touching the paint that either then can kick out to three-point shooters or even finish inside? That's going to be a fun little watch there for me. What about an X factor, TK? Who you got circled?
Compost crew versus guys being dudes. The Nuggets, they've got a really steady bench. They played incredibly well at home. We saw a big Bruce Brown game, 25 points, but in general, it feels like the Nuggets bench plays their roles. They blend really well with the starting lineup. They can turn into a really fast team when Aaron Gordon becomes the backup center. But in general, you're just hoping to get good production from the Nuggets, athleticism, turnover forcing. Whereas with the Lakers, they've got random dudes who just come in and win games. We've seen Reeves win a game. We've seen Rui Hachimura win a game. We saw Lonnie Walker get dusted off and win a game. Maybe Malik Beasley has a revenge game against the Denver Nuggets. But we've seen literal random dudes win games for the Lakers this postseason. I think that can be an advantage for LA just because the names on the Nuggets aren't necessarily going to go out. It's more of a surprise when you get 25 from Bruce Brown than it is when you get it from Rui Hachimura for whatever reason. But it seems to have been home-based. So the team that is at home has their role guys play well, and on the road, they haven't been there. If we can see a random huge game from either bench on the road, that can swing one game, which could be the series.
It is big. I can't wait to see if D'Angelo Russell isn't working, what Darvin does, because he's pushed every single correct button. Dennis Schroeder went to the starting lineup. It worked. Up and down the roster with those Lakers, they do have more options, I suppose, than the Nuggets, who are just rolling out 3 guys off the bench. But, yeah, it has to happen on the road. That's a good point. I mean, it is sounding simple when you say Game 1 is important, but it's damn important. It always plays a huge factor in who wins the series. And the Nuggets just have not been soft any quarter at home. I mean, they just haven't let anybody in the games, really. So it's going to be tough for the Lakers to steal one.
If we see Michael Beasley, in this series, would be wild of him. I almost want to see it now. He played 20 minutes in the last series in 6 games. He had 1 game where he saw the floor and it was a blowout.
I don't really think he can play in this series.
Probably
he
not.
doesn't pay attention on defense.
Right.
And they cut a lot in Denver.
Yeah, maybe he matches a KCP, but you're right. If they're cutting all over the place, burn. But he'll try and I think he could. I think he could try and match KCP's threes and see what happens. But KCP is a huge X factor. I mean, my X factor is the Nugget that doesn't shoot threes. They all shoot threes, whether it's Porter or KCP or Jamal Murray. But Aaron Gordon, I think, could be monstrous in this series because LeBron is going to want to roam. He's going to want to help on Jokic. And so if Aaron Gordon can make him pay by cutting all over the place, offensive rebounding, which the Nuggets do really, really well, and obviously he has to D up LeBron, who is looking his best throughout the postseason. I know we have such high expectations of LeBron that we think he's been okay in meeting his expectations, but he is playing his best right now. So 30 points coming off that game there. AG's a pretty good matchup for him, though. He's going to body him pretty well. And I think, a lot of the times in the NBA we were like, this is a good matchup for him. But what ends up happening is multiple guys guard multiple guys. In this instance, I don't think there's going to be much switching. There's no way Bron can come and cover Jokic. It's just not going to be a lot of that. Vanderbilt can help, but I think we're going to see a lot of AG versus LeBron, and that's a very good matchup, I think, for the Nuggets if he can concentrate on that and he can just use his energy levels to try and cut around Bron as much as possible. He can score a lot.
What did you think of LeBron's comments after the Warriors series? Because we kept talking about just reserving his energies, picking his spots. He knows when he's got to turn it on when he does it. And he was like, "No, not really. I've been gassed after every single game. This is what he told us." So it's like, no, this is me at this age in year 20. I'm not really picking my spots as much as maybe just my physical capabilities as I get older and older. Do you buy it?
Yeah,
no?
I do.
Yeah.
Taz says he's playing the best he has. I guess he did have a 30-point game in the playoffs, but LeBron was a lot better earlier this season before he had a foot injury, and he looks like he's playing 40 minutes a night after coming back early from a foot injury while being 38 years old, and also having a lot of players on the team who can handle having the ball for 5 minutes at a time, so LeBron doesn't have to do anything. The question will be, when does he put his stamp on these games, and which game is a throwback LeBron game? Because he saw Game 6 and said, this is a must-win. You're getting the best LeBron all night. They got the best LeBron, and they smoked the Warriors. So he's still got it deep in the bag, but he knows, and he probably can't summon it quite as often, but he can do it for 5 minutes at a time, and that can flip the game.
Prediction. Where are you going, man?
I don't know how the Lakers stop this offense. I guess I said the same thing last round with the Warriors offense against the Lakers. They managed to do that, but they had a size advantage that they don't have in this series. So Anthony Davis has to be huge. He has to outplay Jokic. I don't see that happening. I got the Nuggets in 6.
TK?
My first prediction is that Christian Brown and LeBron go head-to-head against each other and have some sort of Christian Brown trying to rile up LeBron and getting a flagrant or a technical. Seems
Christian Brown.
Yeah, that guy's an irritant.
Sure.
And I think he'll get some time on LeBron just same way he did against Kevin Durant, just get up in him and be a 19-year-old against him, pretty much, annoy this guy as much as possible, and that'll probably wear on things as the series goes on, so look out for that. I'll be happy if that one comes true. I said I was going to believe in the Lakers if they won in round 2, and I felt the same way as you did. How do the Lakers stop the Golden State Warriors? Sometimes you just miss shots. That happened to the Warriors. Steph Curry shot pretty poorly the last 3 games of that series. Klay Thompson never got on track. A lot of that was the Lakers being willing to give those guys shots, running them off the 3-point line, that kind of stuff. I don't know. Weird things have happened. Give me the stupid Lakers in 7.
Oh, there it is.
I'm in.
Fair enough. Hey, look, LeBron's lost 1 conference finals in his career, I believe, right? Lost in 2009 when he was with the Cavs to the Magic. That's it. He's 10-1 in conference finals. That's something you really can't. You can't go right with any prediction you make here because you're going to piss off either fan base. You either say, "Oh, I like the Lakers, man. You got LeBron, you got AD," and the Nuggets go, "What? We were the best team in the regular season. We have the guy that maybe should have won 3 MVPs in a row, playing even at a higher level. Jamal Murray back to Bubble Murray. Everybody contributing. It's the disrespect. It's real. So you do that, and then if you pick the other side, you say the Nuggets, home court advantage, all the reasons I just went through. People say, "What are you talking about? You're gonna bet against LeBron James again, just like you did against the Warriors?" I get it. But I'm going to go the flip of what TK said, and I think home court advantage will matter. I think the longer a series go, it might actually favor the Denver Nuggets a little bit. I'll go Nuggets in 7. But this one's fun because I've seen people going, no, Nuggets are going to wax them. Obviously, people picking the Lakers. This one's all over the map. What do you guys think? Where are you going? How many games? Taz says Nuggets in 6. I'll go Nuggets in 7, and TK, he believes in those Lakers. He's going Lakers in 7. You think it's good? What do you think it's going to be a hell of a series?
Oh, absolutely.
Here?
This should be a banger.
Yeah.
Absolute banger.
I think it will be really fun if, like you said, game 1, maybe even game 2, whatever one, can the Lakers do what no team's done yet and go into Denver and take away the home court advantage right away, like early in this series? Because they have just been lights out. Like, they destroyed Phoenix and Denver.
Yeah.
Destroyed them there. In a series that, goes 6, but they were in those games in Phoenix, but just killed them when they were at home. So gets underway on Tuesday night. Again, let's hear from everybody out there, though, when it comes to your predictions for the Nuggets and Lakers in the Western Conference Finals.